Hello and welcome to another episode of the Lion's Den podcast, your one-stop shop for Club Leon information and chatter in English. Monday night football, scoreless draw Monday. We are all excited to be here. As you can see, I'm joined by Jose, Javier, and our lieutenant second in command, who's going to be responsible for most of the hosting duties tonight, Carlos. How you guys doing?
Very well, Kari. Very well.
Well, let's turn things over to Carlos to get us started here, shall we?
Hey, that was a pretty good intro. Great job. Yeah. Guys, how are we doing tonight?
Pretty good.
It is what it is.
I mean, it could have been worse. Like a loss is worse, but yeah.
Yeah, it's a result on the road. It's a weird season, guys. I mean, Querétaro goes from beating America 4-1 one week to losing to Atlas. I mean, we shouldn't, we're about to talk about Atlas.
Yeah, we're about to play Atlas.
But it's no secret that they're not the cream of the crop of the league. So it's just, in terms of results, it's just a really, really weird season. As long as you're near the top of the table and getting points, I think for right now, that's still a good thing.
Yeah, and we're in third place, so I guess that's a good thing too. We're staying at the top of the table, like Louis said.
Yeah, but unfortunately, my Sunday results didn't pan out. I was hoping that for Cadiz hero Cone Brizuelo not to be called offside, and for that Felipe Chivas to end in a draw, and we would have been in second. Then, of course, Cruz Azul hammered San Luis. I was hoping that wouldn't happen, but third place is still pretty good.
Yes, sir. Shout out to Gadi, who couldn't make it tonight, but she is backstage. For all of you guys watching, wondering where she's at. So, guys, let's jump right in. It was a draw in Juarez, and let me start off with the team.
As long as we're within the first five, we're fine for now.
Yeah. Okay, so I'm going to go ahead and start off with the team news. Let's cue the clip. All right, so we had three major headlines last week. The first one, which I think it's not as important now, but Leo Ramos was finally transferred over to Club Pachuca. Not sure about the details. I don't know if anybody else has any details on that, but he's no longer with the team. Also, we heard that Luis Montes, Chapito Montes, signed a 2-year extension with the club, which is a very good sign for us. That means he'll be able to retire with us. Unlike another legendary player who left us a couple years back, Boselli. And then the top story that I had was William Tecillo, Cota, and Meneses, who tested positive, and so they had to sit out at least until match day 7. Cota has already published that he's negative for COVID, and then I think Tecillo today was also negative. So the only one left is Meneses. But what do you guys think? Did we need them on Saturday?
Well, I hope we get that message from Meneses soon. For my money, he was the one we missed most on Friday. Just he's he had a good game against Xolos. Maybe he was on the way up in terms of form, and we're just still lacking that creativity and dangerousness up front that he's a big part of. So I mean, I hope he's available. Yes, we did miss them. We didn't miss Cota. I think we all predicted Cota might be the one we missed most. And Poncho Blanco, give the dude credit. He stepped in. Second keeper always has to be ready, not knowing if they're ever going to get a shot to do anything. And he came in and had a fine game. So props to him. Yeah,
man of the match easily.
Yeah.
Javier, any input?
Agreed. I thought that the player we were going to most miss was going to be Cota, but I do think that Blanco did an exceptional job. Yeah, he was the man of the game. For me, I think he, I don't know, all the expectations I had of him, he succeeded. He really did well, and I guess Meneses is another player that I think Leon needed. I'm with Louis. I kind of wanted Chivas to win and Cruz Azul to not win, so Leon could be still in primer lugar. But I think Leon had the possibility to do that themselves. So again, Meneses was missed. Cota, like I said, I prefer him, but Blanco, he showed that he's always ready, or at least he's ready when he's given the opportunity.
Yeah, he has that first division. He has a lot of first division experience with Pachuca.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, so, he came in and filled Conejo Perez's shoes once Conejo was kind of finally forced to retire. And just to clarify, with Cruz Azul's win, we would have only been in second place, even if we had won that game due to goal difference. Not like table position. Table position is just an aesthetic thing right now. It would have been really fun. It would have looked cool to have the team at the top of the table, but the team at the top of the table after Jornada 6 doesn't mean anything. It just would have been fun.
Exactly. No, you're right. That's exactly what I kind of thought. I'm like, yeah, you know what? We're not in first place, but look, we have Atlas, we have Necaxa, we have a couple of games where I feel that, they're very winnable games. Although, again, I'm not even going to, like Louis said, Querétaro beats Cruz Azul and America, but then they lose to Atlas. It's kind of like anything could happen.
It's a weird, unpredictable season. And it's always unpredictable.
Yeah, it's always.
And now it's like even more unpredictable.
Yeah.
It's going to be a roller coaster season, guys. So let me get into the starting lineup for Friday night. Sorry, I said Saturday night earlier. So as Louis mentioned, we had Alfonso Blanco on goal. The back line was Yairo Moreno, Steven Barreiro, Andres Mosquera, and Fernando Navarro. In the midfield, we had Luis Montes and Ivan Rodriguez, who was sent off over a silly foul he committed in the second half.
Blessing in disguise, as far as I'm concerned.
Yeah. Well, I'll let you rant on him in a minute.
Okay.
On the wings, we had Avion Ramirez, and then we had Angel Mena on the other wing. And then at the top, we had Campbell and Gigliotti. Guys, biggest surprise? No surprises?
In terms of the absences that we were dealing with, I don't think that lineup was too surprising. We had talked prior to the game several days when we found out about those absences, like in our private chat, what the lineup might be. And, we'd put out something similar to what it ended up being, almost identical even. So, no, I think that was to be expected. I just, you put the Jefecito in there because he seems to have free reign. They're going to use him no matter what. But I say, blessing in disguise, because now maybe they won't be able to. Now they will be forced to use somebody else in that spot. Hopefully Aquino,
Yeah. So it was.
Pretty much. I agree with that. Sorry, I was gonna say I agree with that about Jefecito getting a red card. You know what? It was one of those plays where you're like, I don't think it was even for a yellow.
Yeah.
But that being said, it's probably it's for a reason. Maybe I do believe in these kind of things, and I wanted to see more of Aquino. So I think maybe this would be good for Aquino to maybe kind of show, because I think Aquino is more skilled, and even in esa jugada, I'm like, come on, it's kind of like de secundaria, no. Lo que hizo, because again, it wasn't a yellow card, but still, man, that's kind of what he's kind of wanting to do. Quiere que le hagan la falta. And with Aquino, yes, he's had red cards in the past, but I think he's very more skilled, I think, and I'd much rather see him get an opportunity.
Yeah, I think maybe in like a Liguilla match, or especially like in a final or something, that wouldn't have been a second yellow. They wouldn't have given it. But it is what it is. They gave it, but Jefecito just doesn't have it this season. He didn't have it last season. He hasn't had it in a long time.
In a while.
Really, he hasn't. He's been hampered by injuries, but he's recovered from them, and he hasn't shown development in his game, the kind that we'd expect to keep him as a titular indiscutible, in my opinion. And when you have an option like Aquino, who, for whatever reason, I don't know if it's just the issue of too many extranjeros or what, but they just, he doesn't get a lot of run, and he's a guy who needs to get run.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
So now he's going to be forced to get run. I mean, assuming that Ambriz doesn't go with Ivan Ochoa. Or
That would be
or
like, if he does, there's got to be a problem between
or a
Nacho Aquino.
jovencito, or a jovencito like a Saúl Zamora or whatever.
Yeah.
Yeah,
But Aquino's going to be forced to get run, so that's why I say it's a blessing in disguise.
yeah,
Yeah, it's weird
that's
to
the
see
perfect
Aquino.
word.
It's weird to see Aquino just fall off the ship like that. I mean,
Yeah.
all season, even in the offseason, we talked about how much we were expecting to have this guy start, how great of a player he is, how great of a season he had last season. So I don't know. I hope it's not anything internal. I hope that in worst case, we have an offer for him and we're just not playing him because there might be a potential offer.
Yeah. I
So,
mean, if it's for a top tier mobile striker, then I'd be willing to accept that. You know,
that's what we need. That's what we need.
That's what we need.
Apparently.
So it was 0-0 at the half, guys, and we didn't have a very good opening 45 minutes. I think the second half was a lot better. There's a lot more to talk about. But we dominated possession in the first half. I think it was 66-34, something like that. But it was a pretty bad first 45 minutes, guys. Thoughts?
Well, I was just very optimistic, really. To be honest, I just didn't want to lose. If we were to come back with a draw and imagine a win, then it would have been the best case scenario for Leon. So just seeing the first half, Leon having a lot of possession, but still, I didn't see them. I don't know. I just feel like los que faltaron, maybe in a way, were needed. But I'm telling you, I'm not gonna blame Gigliotti or anybody. I think it's something else. I don't know what it is. If it's a psychological thing. But that's kind of why, again, when it comes to la temporada regular, to me, it's just a big preseason. It's just trying to get these players sharp enough. By the time it's La Liguilla, we won't have these issues. So the 0-0 in the first half, and then in the end, I think Blanco nos salvó. Otherwise, it would have been a loss. I just feel like, hey, it could have been worse. And I really wanted to be Bravos, because León would continue it would have been like 3 partidos consecutivos que ganaron. But look, let's just kind of like, hay que recuperar los que tuvieron COVID, and let's see what we could do against Atlas and Necaxa and they're whoever. I think Tigres is after that. Those are the games that I really care about. The Tigres, the Americas, the teams that I feel are going to be in the second round in La Liguilla, and kind of how they're going to match up.
Yeah, and in the hunt for the top 4 spots, which is much more important this season than it's been in a long time.
That's true. Yeah. That's very true.
Yeah. Direct qualification.
Yeah.
Yep. So, as Javier mentioned, Poncho Blanco, guys, what a game. Incredible. How many times did he save us? It was like at least 4, 5 times where he saved us.
4.
Something
like
that.
The second half.
Yeah, he had a wonderful game. And so I guess the game ended 0-0, third place. How do you guys feel about the third place right now? Should we be higher? I feel like we should have gotten out of Juarez with more than just a single point. I think going into Juarez, we were obviously the stronger candidate. Juarez really didn't have much to show over the past few match days. They had been on a losing streak. So I think we were supposed to get out of there with 3 points at least, guys. What do you guys think?
Yeah, I think the X factor of Marco Fabian making his Juarez debut kind of gave them a little bit of extra oomph, a little something. Yeah, I don't know. And again, yeah, you can say Poncho Blanco had a great game. I don't think that. I don't know. I don't think the result, that is to say, coming out of there at least with a draw, was ever that much in doubt. In my opinion, I was never really scared that we weren't going to get out of there with at least a point. The third place is, I mean, look, we have not played anything close to our potential at all offensively, and we're third place in the table, 1 result away from being in second, 2 results away from being in first. It's just the table's so tight right now. Yeah, we're in third, but we're 2 points off the lead. It's certainly not cause for concern. It's not cause for too much optimism either, because of how unpredictable this season is going to be, and just how ragged, for lack of a better word, some of these games, not just our games, have looked. I think we should, after jornada 10 or so, normally we'd say like after jornada 6 or 7, that's when the table really starts to take form and the tournament starts to take shape. And I think we can extend, in a tournament like this, given all the details, all the circumstances behind it, maybe we can push that out to maybe jornada 10 or even 11. If we're, we should start table watching after that. And if we're not consistently hovering near the top 4, then it'll be cause for concern. But for right now, I don't think it's neither cause for too much optimism nor too much concern, the table position.
Yeah, I agree. I don't think it's a good or bad thing. I think it's just normal. It's actually kind of how I figure it out. Like when we lost against Cruz Azul, I said, okay, what's next? Pachuca, Tijuana, Bravos, Atlas, and Necaxa. I'm like, okay, out of those 5 teams, I think honestly that León will win probably 4 and tie 1. I thought they were going to tie with Pachuca out of those 5, and they ended up winning. So tying with Bravos to me is kind of like, it's normal for what I actually really like expected from León, like really like what I really think could León do. So I think the game against Atlas and the game against Necaxa, to me, if there's 2 more ties or a loss, then I'm gonna be like, this is not what I expected. But at the end of the day, I think after la jornada 10, 11, 12 is when we really have to kind of start seeing if these problems that we have up front and whatnot are gonna still continue to affect us. I think the game against Tigres, to me, and America, after those 2 games, I would have a better kind of like understanding of how I really feel about León en cualquier posición que se encuentre. But I think being in 3rd place is not bad at all. And and really, like I said, Cruz Azul and Toluca, they're a couple of points in front. Yes, Cruz Azul beat León, but I think León, as the tournament progresses, they will get better. And of course, like I said, I just care about La Liguilla and whatnot. But I think it's a good thing being in 3rd. Like Luis said, it's very important que quedemos entre los primeros 4. So far, so good.
Yeah, it's a good point about the Pachuca game, Javier. I also did not expect 3 points out of that one. I expected a draw or even a loss. That's just a tough place. Yeah. Over the years, that's been a tough place for us to get wins, to get results even. So I considered that, we had maybe getting the 3 points out of Pachuca unexpectedly. Okay, so we have maybe in this stretch that we're playing Juarez now, Atlas, Necaxa. We have, let's say, a 1-match margin for error in that. Okay, now we the draw is still a pretty decent result in Juarez, so I think we haven't completely given it up. We definitely need some points out of these next games, but I considered that we had a margin for error because of that, a little bit of a margin for error in this stretch because of that Pachuca win. So yeah, that's a good point there.
Yeah. Jose, we just got Jose back. Jose had some
Jose.
So
okay.
wait.
Any we just went over the match of León versus Juarez. Do you have anything to say about it? First half, second half, it was a draw. We're in 3rd place. Any input? ¿Cómo viste los jugadores?
I was expecting more, because like I don't know, I we in the games that we had played versus Juarez before, we usually do pretty good there, be it away or at home. So I was expecting to at least get like 2 goals in, but I don't know. Plus, it's still concerning that we still can't seem to find the back of the net. Like we generate chances, but we're still not clinical enough. And yeah, I agree with you guys that it's the interesting thing though, that even though we haven't scored, it's interesting to me that we're still up in the four, um, in the top
Top four
four.
positions.
Yeah, so that's kind of interesting. Like usually when we don't score that many goals, it's like we'll usually be like lingering somewhere like between, I don't know, fifth and eighth, and it's good that we're in third, and that we're still on the top of the table, and I hopefully by next game, I hope, like, not even 2 goals now. Like, at least I hope that we score 1 goal, because we need to keep scoring. Even one
Yeah.
is good now.
I mean,
So
the defense has been key. We haven't seen a defense this efficient.
Yes, sir.
I mean,
Yeah.
That's
also
true.
unusual.
That is really
yes,
true about Leo.
this, like, I was actually unable to finish the defensive side. I unfortunately I only did the offensive side for this one. I promise I'll bring the defensive draft for next time. For all torneos cortos, but I'm pretty sure, at least for since we return to Primera División, this is probably our best uh, season defensive wise.
Yeah.
So
Yeah,
I believe that. Like,
yeah,
really.
and I mean, this is just such a weird season. So to see a stagnant offense, but just a stalwart defense. That's nothing. That's not what we're used to seeing from this team. But with all the other irregularities that are going on, I feel like that's something to embrace, and
yeah.
that is why we remain at the top of the table in spite of our scoring not inability, but the difficulties that we've had finding clear chances to score.
Yeah. Think about it. Even without the CEO and Cota, we still managed to keep it 0. And I think that just means that if Cota something was to happen to Cota or the CEO or whatever, I feel like we could replace it. I mean, at least mínimo, I feel like we do have a really great estrategia defensiva this time around. And I still think there's time to improve up in the forwards. I think there's time. I just think they need more minutes in a way. I don't know how much minutes you can give Gigliotti and Sosa, but they kind of have to step up now that for sure Ramos left, and I don't think I even forgot his name, Godínez. I don't think he's ever gonna play.
No,
León would be,
yeah,
borrado totalmente. León would have to also step up. It's now or never too for that kid. I think he should also get those minutes.
Like, now that, like, I mean, Gigliotti has had at least like 5 matches at his weight now. So and I don't know, the 1 goal that he actually managed to score was from the bench. So maybe, I don't know, we need him to come from the bench. Maybe he have more an impact for us off the bench. I don't know. And since none of the strikers are really producing anyway, I mean, why not give Armando León some minutes?
Yeah.
Well, he couldn't start. Well, he didn't. I mean, he missed the match prior to this one for COVID. So
yeah. But now that he's back,
he did have a start this season, didn't he?
Yeah,
he started opening day, I think. No,
he did.
Yeah.
I've been forgetting to bring it up, but there was one quote that Meneses said to Nacho Ambriz, like, in regards to, like, scoring. I didn't have enough time to, like, translate, so I'm just gonna read it in Spanish if that's okay with you guys. But I think it's very like it has to do with why we're not scoring. So, like, so Ambriz was saying in an interview that they asking, like, la gente de adelante aún no están finos. Hablé con Jean Meneses y me dijo que esperemos. Paramos 4 meses y apenas llevamos 4 partidos. That was back when they had, like, 4 games. Aún no nos sentimos tan finos. So you guys think, I mean, can we still say that it's affecting them? that they stopped now that they're 6 games in, or they can't use that excuse anymore?
I don't think so. Why are other teams scoring? And I mean, I don't know. I just
I
feel that
mean, yeah, there's that. But again, it just goes to show. I think we all got our hopes up after that first game in the Copa Telcel, where they looked like themselves. It looked like they hadn't.
Yeah, we did.
yeah,
They looked like
That's it.
they hadn't missed a beat. They looked like they were ready to play as they had played, like picking up right where they left off.
Yeah.
And then
again,
that just goes to show how little those friendly copas really
Yeah.
mean. I mean, they don't mean anything. It's not like it's just a whole different ballgame when you're playing games that matter.
we forgot that it was preseason.
But also Ambris really loves his pretextos. He really likes, when he's in a presser, saying things on medias and not really taking full responsibility. So
He's never been great.
I'm kind of tired. I'm kind of tired of hearing those kinds of things.
Mhm.
There's some truth to it, sure, but I'm kind of tired of hearing it. To be quite honest with you, yeah.
I mean, he does it, but I don't think he does it as much as in like Gustavo Diaz or
I think el problema de Nacho Ambriz es que no sabe cómo comunicarse. He doesn't really know how to explain himself. I think in the past I've heard some interviews and I'm like, wait, what? I don't like how you said that right there, But I think he has that problem, and the excuses. And sometimes I just feel que trata de hacer cosas más difícil de lo que son. I don't, and I have that problem with a lot of other coaches. Again, everybody kind of thinks, hey, I know what I'm doing, or I know what to do, or they think they have the answers. But sometimes it's just, I think it's not that confusing to, against LAFC, I think it wasn't that hard to really understand that we needed to attack and not defend. Why did we stop doing what always worked for us? And he just gave a very lame excuse. And see, that's kind of what I don't like. So he's never been well when it comes to those kind of things. Pero pues, I really don't pay attention to it anymore.
Yeah.
I really don't. Yeah.
Now that Ramos is out of Leon, and the relationship between Leon or maybe Ambris and Ramos like kind of ended in a negative note. What if this, clashes were happening even before? Like, what if that's the reason why he left him on the bench versus ALFC? Not even bringing LFC, and he put Godinez because, like, I remember that didn't make sense.
Why did Godinez start? Yeah, and not. Well, I don't even remember the circumstances of that game. If some players couldn't play because of una lesión or whatnot, but I did think it was weird that Godinez played over Ramos. Yeah, but I don't remember what Ramos' situation was.
As far as I can remember, he was available.
Yeah, he was
available. That's a good point, Jose. This transfer might just be the culmination of a long period of turmoil. It's not like this is anything new. This is just it got to a boiling point, shall we say? Yeah. I think that's highly possible.
Yeah, but I mean, it's neither one of their faults. I mean, I think Leo Ramos never really fit into our system, and it's not the coach's fault it's his job to sit him if he doesn't play well. So, if Leo Ramos was frustrated or angry that he wasn't getting playing time, that's fine. I mean, the coach doesn't think you're good enough to be in our system. So, oh well, that's all over with. But anyway, getting back to the match against Juarez, let's go ahead and get into individual performances. So today we're going to start off with a player we paid a lot of money for and we haven't really seen a lot from. Joel Campbell.
Probably one of his worst games today.
Think so?
I mean, he seemed. I didn't really. I mean, did anyone see him?
No.
I mean, you can name anyone from the offense.
I was gonna say I'm not gonna just say, hey, Joel Campbell, you're the reason.
No, I mean, it wasn't him, but like right now we're talking about Campbell.
Yeah, of course, and definitely last game I didn't like him and the position they put him in, and I didn't see anything of him in this game. I think if we're gonna give him a una calificación, I give him a 6. But then a lot of people are gonna get a 6.
Yeah, he literally just came out and came back in.
Yeah.
He's perplexing because for stretches he just shows you why he has the resume that he does, the teams that he's played for, the trayectoria that he has. I just don't know if he's trying too hard to make that quality shine through in a league where he should be dominating anyone who's going up against him. Frankly,
sometimes he does too much. Like when it should be simpler. And
but I mean, does he recognize that? I mean, is he just gonna keep trying to be great individually at the expense of the team? All the team really needs is for him to show maybe 75, 60, 70% of the maximum ability that he's capable of. Because the maximum ability that he was capable of was like Premier League, starter for Costa Rica in the World Cup, wherever else he played, Betis. I can't remember exactly. His entire, Arsenal was the main one. If he can take like 30%, 20, 25, 30% off of that and just be a straightforward player in Liga MX, he's going to be really, really effective. But he seems really intent on making his individuality shine through, and it's not what we need, and it's not working. Like he's just, it's disappointing, and I hope it change. I mean, I hope it changes. Really do.
So, what's your rating, Louis?
Yeah, his rating. Javier set a good bar. I'll go with 6.
6. Okay.
Yeah, I'm gonna go with the same team. I'm tempted to even lower it, but no, I'm going to go ahead and say. Because no.
Yeah, let's go 6. Go 6. Next player, Angel Mena.
Another one. Another 6. Yeah, Mena was nowhere to be seen.
6.2.
So what did you say?
He's really
6.2.
Yeah, he's really not a guy. Like, he was invisible. Like, I mean, it's not like he did anything particularly bad, except for that one time he tried to draw a PK where he obviously wasn't fouled, and he could have gotten a card for that if the referee had decided to be a real jerk about it.
Yeah, he could have really done that. He could have gone to El VAR and be like, "Hey,
that would have been a second yellow,
not a foul."
And if
it could have been a yellow,
double bookkeeping, and then we wouldn't have it.
Like if he's resorting to that when he's not like finding the net run of play.
I mean, he's desperate.
That's an act of desperation. It's not we don't like to see that. But mostly, aside from that one memorable moment for the wrong reasons, he was pretty much invisible. And that he's the kind of guy like, you can talk about like a center back or even a holding mid like being invisible, and that could mean that they have a good game. You don't want to be talking about those guys too much because it usually means they got knocked off the ball or they made a defensive blunder. So like if they're invisible, it means they're doing their job. But not a guy like Mena. Mena needs to put his stamp on every game that he plays. So yeah, that another disappointing performance for sure.
So another 6.
I'll go with a 6 for him too.
Nice. I'll go with the 6 too. Next player, Poncho Blanco.
I'm tempted between 7.5.
7.5.
7.5. No, man.
I think he was the man of the match, so I'm gonna give him a 10.
I'll give him a 9. I'll give him an
8.
I'll give him a 10.
Why so low, Jose?
If you're watching Blanco, you get a 10.
No, because I don't think respondió cuando tenía que responder, pero tampoco no. I don't think I think the defense was Like it wasn't just all him. Yeah, the defense helping a lot too.
Yeah, but come on, Jose. When your backup keeper gets you a clean sheet, like that's at least a 9. I'm sorry. When your backup keeper gets you a clean sheet, he didn't come in the 80th minute because of an injury or whatever. No, he played a full 90 with finding out a couple days beforehand that he'd need to, and he got a clean sheet. Like you can't. I don't know what more you could have expected.
I guess
him to do.
I'll do 9, but I won't do 10 because there was one certain play where he almost se quiso lucir un poco and he almost lost the ball. So
yeah, that's fine. I don't want to give anybody a 10. Like in order for him to get a 10, he would have had to have the game that he had, and then also come in on a corner, like on the final play of stoppage time, and score a goal. That would be the only way I would give him a 10. But I think a 9. You know, you gotta give the dude at least a 9 because everybody was just tirándole. You know, they're like, no, we're doomed with this guy. Like there's no way we're gonna get scored. Like even Zacarias, who was on our last pod, is like, no, I did think Leon was gonna win, but since Poncho Blanco is going to be in goal and not Cota, now I think Juarez is going to win 2-1 just because of that. And I'm like,
because of Blanco, yeah,
because of Blanco, and that's ridiculous, you know. But even our fans, were really hard on him. They were like, no, this is going to be a disaster. There's no way we're going to get anything with Poncho Blanco in goal, and he did. He went in and did everything that could have been asked of him.
He shut a lot of people's mouths up, including mine, because I was just like, I didn't have the same kind of faith I have in Cota, but man, he just proved to me that he's ready. He's been ready for a while. I think he's also trying to show like, hey, I've been here for a while, and I really want to do my thing, and that's what we need in Leon. We need not only one good goalkeeper, but 2, just in case if something happens with the first one. And I think Blanco is. I feel very secure having him.
Yeah. It's interesting to. I actually want to know when his last official start was for Pachuca, because I don't remember the last time. He's never started for us, right?
He started for us, but in the sense of not in Liga MX. This was his first start for Leon in Liga MX.
Yeah. So, I mean, getting called up first official start in God knows how long, and you have a performance like that, that's got to be a 9. That's a 9 in my book.
Yeah, for sure.
Yeah. So, quick rundown of the jornada, match day 6. Necaxa beat Santos. Juarez and Leon obviously tied. Atlas surprising Querétaro.
Wow.
I don't know why that sounds weird coming out of my mouth. Atlas surprising Querétaro.
Yeah.
Tigres and Pumas tied 1-1. That was a funny
ending. Of course, I agree.
Funny ending. Monterrey just ran through America. 2 red cards there. Did you guys watch that one?
Oh yeah.
I watched parts.
Yeah.
Definitely one in Monterrey
Tijuana, right. Tijuana beat Puebla 1-0. Toluca over Chivas. San Luis lost to Cruz Azul 3-1. And tonight, actually in 10 minutes, we'll have the last match. Yep, Pachuca Mazapan.
Yeah, Mazapan.
All right, so
are they still arrebatando?
Yeah. So that's all for the Juarez and the rundown of the jornada. Let's go ahead and get into the preview of the Atlas match. Jose, what do you have for us on the stat corner? Do we have any clips to cue for you?
I believe so, but I forgot to tell which one's first. So I got a few stats, I believe.
Are they gonna play his video? Don't you have a video?
There we go.
All right.
Take it away, Jose.
Where should I start? Let's see. Let's just start with the top scorers first for the Apertura and Clausura. Okay, so right now, if we compare this season with last season, this is how we're doing right now after 6 jornadas
Wow.
compared to last season. So, yeah.
But where were we in the table? Where were we in the table at that same point?
Last season,
Uh-huh.
I believe. Let me see. No, I think we were higher. I missed that part, so I'm te la debo. So,
Okay.
but I could probably find out what it is.
And it's all right. No rush.
Okay, so, but yeah, guys, like it's evident how bad we're doing. At least just in the top 5 scorers. So, and what's hurting us a lot is that Mena is not scoring, especially Mena. And
He has
then
no goals this season.
yeah. So, and then Meneses too. Like remember that I told you that like or main guys, like not even or center forward, it was or wingers. So there you go. Mena and Meneses had 2 and 5 at this time last season. So right now all our guys have 1 goal. No one has 2 goals. So that's kind of worrying.
Yeah.
And I mean that's just for that. So I just wanted to go over just the scorers, but coming up, let's see. So if we compare the first 6 matches for all the torneo cortos, so let's see. Okay, so first, yeah, the next one. Keep going. Yeah, next one. There we go. That one. So I initially did just the ones that the recent one from the recent Ascenso, but I was like, why not? Let me do all of them. So the lowest goals score in after 6 matches it has been 4 goals, and that has happened 3 times now. So it has happened. The first time was in El Verano 2002, which was our last season before we got relegated. The second time was in the Aperturas 2016, which is the next one, and that was 3 goals. That's our worst year. That was I believe on their
Pizzi?
El Flaco Tena,
Oh,
I believe, under Flaco Tena, and then this season, which is 4 goals too. So just to give you an idea how bad it is.
Yeah.
It's a weird season, man. It's a weird season. I don't know if you can really compare.
But I mean, but it is. But
I get it. I get it.
We're doing bad.
That those are not good numbers by any stretch of the imagination. But I mean, we're also not
better.
We're also not accustomed to being the best defensive team in the league either. So
I mean, even before, but the thing is, even before, like even before, we never been like just a few instances in our history we've been this bad. Even under when we were under Matosas, like the worst thing that we did was like probably like 4 goals. I mean, sorry, like 5 goals, and that's still bad. But 4 and 3, that's our. But like I said, like it's mainly because our wingers and scoring, which is our who usually are the ones that produce more goals for us. So hopefully once start the score. I mean, Menezes already scored, thank God. Now we just need Mena to start scoring too.
Mm-hmm.
But that's how we're doing. And should I go over Atlas as well? If you guys
Go
can.
for it.
Okay, so the next one, which will be the record versus Atlas in the last 9 matches. Okay, so we have 44.44% wins, then 33.33 in draws and 22 like. So we have the numbers in our favor in the last matches. So we should be okay, but what worries me in this we're not scoring, and then the next one for how many goals and how many they have scored. So we score in 9 matches. We scored 15 goals and we have conceded 12. So it's kind of even in terms of goal scoring, but we definitely have a slight advantage. So I think I expect us to win. Is it this weekend?
Monday.
Next Monday.
Monday?
Week from today. A week from
Yeah.
today.
So I mean, I expect us to win on Monday. Hopefully, we shouldn't have problems. But then again, Ata just coming to this game with a win, so they'll be definitely motivated to win against us. So we'll see.
Yeah. Yeah, we'll see what happens. It's going to be an interesting game. Thank you, Jose, for that. Awesome stats. Very good graphics, too, by the way. And let's jump into Louis' corner. Let's cue that clip. Louis, take it away.
I actually hadn't heard that theme music before.
How couldn't you get a cool song? I want to say that's
I don't
Metal
know.
Gear Solid Snake Gear. That's like the best. That's dope. Sorry, I just wanted to say that.
The most interesting thing I can say about an Atlas trip is the very first Leon away game I ever went to was against Atlas. At the Estadio Jalisco, I still had my car from the United States down here at that point, and it had been in the shop for a month. I hadn't had my car, and I got it back, and I saw Leon was playing in Guadalajara that week, and it's a pretty short drive from here. I was like, I'm going to go, but I didn't want to go by myself, so I invited a couple of friends, but they took so long in getting ready that, believe it or not, I didn't get to Estadio Jalisco until almost 30 minutes into the match. And I had no idea what had happened to that point. This is the Clausura 2015, which is actually Leon's worst season since the bicampeonato. And if you looked at some of the guys who were getting steady minutes on that roster now, like if you saw that same caliber of players, our fan base would be out for the heads of our directiva. Anyway, I got there. I got to Estadio Jalisco. I had no idea what I was getting into, like where I could even park my car or do anything. I ended up parking it with an acomodador, like in front of an OXXO on the street. If you aren't familiar with Guadalajara, the area where Estadio Jalisco is not the nicest. So I was a little concerned about that, but I was like, doesn't matter. I'm late. I have to get in. I didn't even have tickets. I didn't even know how you bought them at that point. So I just walked up to the box office and we bought tickets for the Leon fan section, the Porra section. Mm-hmm. It was a sparsely attended match, but I was there. I was in. It was first half. I got in. We were already winning 2-1, and then shortly thereafter, we drew a penalty. And Gonzalo Rios, that's a name you haven't heard in a long time around these parts.
Yeah, I know.
Remember him? He stepped up and promptly missed that PK. He screwed up the PK. He missed it, and I was like, that was the first time I really. Rang the expression "gol fallados, gol en contra" really rang true for me because promptly after that, Atlas drew a PK. They scored theirs, and then on just a really, really bad giveaway on a counter, we gave up late the winner to lose 3-2 in that. But that was just kind of the way things went that Clausura 2015, where we finished second to last in the table. Just a really really bad season, but a really really memorable night and travel to the Estadio Jalisco and first ever away game. First of now, that was the first of 80. I've been to 80 away games now, and that was the very first one, Clausura 2015 during Semana Santa against Atlas, and been there 3 more times since then. Oh, and after the match, some of the Atlas Porra tried to they like grabbed a Leon jacket that I was carrying under my arm. They grabbed it away and then like, what are you gonna do about it? You know, and I just like, you can keep it. And we walked away, and no I was not involved in any further altercation, but yeah, it was kind of a bad first impression. I was like, is this how it's gonna be every time I travel? But luckily, that's really not been the case. So yeah, that was the first of what have been, I think, 4 visits now to Estadio Jalisco to see Leon Atlas. They've only won one of those. That was in the match day 1 of Clausura 2018, goals by Boselli and Rifle Andrade to win 2-1. What looked like a really promising start to a season that ended up very disappointing. But yeah, Estadio Jalisco, great place to see a game. Historic venue for Football Mexicano, and you feel like you're getting a much more authentic experience there, for example, than when you go see Chivas at Estadio Akron, which is just, that just caters to like rich bourgeoisie fans of Liga MX, and most of the people there aren't even local fans. They're just traveling from out of town or out of the country to see Chivas. So yeah, if you want a really authentic feeling Football Mexicano experience in Guadalajara, go see a game at Estadio Jalisco, an Atlas match at Estadio Jalisco. Those fans have suffered a lot, but they're still loyal.
Yes.
Yeah, I'll give him that. Yeah,
Yeah.
definitely. Yeah. You got to be loyal to.
Yeah.
Por algo le dicen la fiel.
Yep.
Yeah. Yeah. All right, Louis. Thanks a lot for that. Javier, are you doing your segment?
Yes.
Okay.
Yes, I am. Is Kari ready?
Let's go ahead.
Because it's going to be a crazy segment.
Yeah, let's go ahead
and
cue that clip.
Okay, so today on Once Upon a Time in Leon history, I will not be talking about a classic game between Atlas and Leon from the past. No, instead, I will be talking about a player who played for both Leon. I'm here. No, instead, I will be talking about a player who played for both Leon and Atlas, who is very much loved by both aficiones, especialmente la de Leon. Now, what player comes to mind when you think about these two organizations? Any guesses? What if I told you his first name is Rafael? No, it's not Rafa Marquez. Okay, it's not Rafa Marquez.
Is it
His
Rafa
name
Marquez?
is it's El Tucumano José Rafael Albrecht. Jugadorazo, one of Leon's greatest, most legendary player, in my opinion. Now, let me just start off by this, all right? So Rafael Albrecht was born in Tucumán, Argentina, 78 years ago today. So if you're listening, Tucumano, happy birthday. Albrecht started his career with Atlético Tucumán in 1957. In 1962, he was transferred to San Lorenzo for 10 million pesos, a huge amount for that time, of course. And he played 229 games for San Lorenzo, scoring 59 goals, most of them by penalties. He just never, ever missed. I'm telling you. Albrecht also defended la playera de la selección argentina and played in 2 World Cups, Chile 1962 and England 1966. Este último mundial jugó de titular en todos los partidos. Argentina were put in el grupo de la muerte de ese mundial, in which West Germany were the absolute favorites to win that group, especially after beating Switzerland 5-0. Although Argentina didn't start off so bad, they themselves beat Spain 2-1. The very next game, Germany faced Argentina in a very decisive game. Everyone thought Germany would beat Argentina with ease, but little did they know that they had El Tucumano, and that Tucumano would have one of the best games in his career. It truly was Rafael Albrecht's finest hour. There he is, Rafael Albrecht, right there in 1966. and I think Birmingham was where they played. Um, yeah, so it was truly Rafael Albert's finest hour. In the end, Argentina and Germany would tie the game 0-0. The next game for Argentina, they would play Switzerland. They would win 2-0, and then eventually qualifying to the next round where they would play that infamous game against England, the host nation, in which for no apparent reason, I guess, look at this. This is average right here. Damn. Anyway,
Wow.
yeah, so pretty much that was his finest hour. And, Argentina, after that, we're like, hey, maybe they can go all the way. But no, they ended up losing to England because for no apparent reason, the referee decided to expulsar al Capitán Ratin. And then after that, pretty much England won 1-0. Now, okay, here we go. Here comes the cool part. In 1970, Rafael Albrecht decided to move to Mexico, where he would go on to play for the glorious Club Deportivo León, in which in his first 2 seasons, he would go on to win back-to-back Copa MX championships and also back-to-back Campeón de Campeones Super Cups, in which, by the way, in the 1971 Campeón de Campeones final, León en el Estadio Azteca beat el mismísimo América en el Azteca, which means that ever since the 1970s, guys, León le ha demostrado al América que en su casa de ellos, León siempre será su papá, because that's when it started. Now, Rafael Albrecht's best moment with León came in the 1972-1973 Liga MX season, in which León had an amazing season, making it all the way to the final, where they would face off against La Poderosa Máquina Cementera del Cruz Azul, a team which, back then especially, they were almost unbeatable. They were really good. And for that reason, they were the absolute favorites to win the championship. And well, the very first game celebrated in León, in the first half, Cruz Azul tomó ventaja con gol de Fernando Bustos, but towards the very end of the game, as you saw right now, via penal, Rafael Albrecht scores. There it is. He scores the goal that would tie the game 1-1 in el Estadio de León. And the second game, which was played in el Estadio Azteca, will later end in a 0-0 draw. So once again, León would have to play un tercer partido de desempate, in which, it was played in el Estadio Cuauhtémoc in Puebla. And well, that game started off pretty much the same. Cruz Azul took the lead con gol del Calimán Guzmán, sorry. And towards the end of the second half, Roberto Salomón scores the game that would tie the game and force the game to go to overtime, in which it was a very intense and very, very fought. It was fought till the end because pretty much in the minuto 115, unfortunately, Jorge El Tarzán Davino, who's right there, scored un autogolazo, causing Cruz Azul to win the game, win the championship, causing them to be campeones. Remember, they had just beat America in the 1971-1972 season. And of course, León was just very, very close of winning La Quinta for, back in those times. Now, after that season, Rafael Albrecht decides to play only one more year with León, the 1973-1974 season. In the end, he ended up retiring from León. Well, not retiring. He just ended up, leaving León. He ended up playing 145 games and scoring 36 goals. All of them, the majority of them via penal. I'm telling you, he just never missed. When he was with León, he never missed a penalty. Now, the next season, the 1974-1975 season, yes, Rafael Alvarez decides to move to Guadalajara and play with Atlas. It's very well known that he was very much happy when he was playing with Atlas in Guadalajara, so much that after a year and a half of playing with Atlas, he decides to retire and live in Guadalajara for a couple of years before eventually returning to his native Argentina, in which, in the past, he has said many times about all the fond memories he has when he played in Mexico, all the fond memories he has about Atlas and especially León. And I think with that, I just want to say, if ever La Directiva de León truly, 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 truly does what they say they're going to do, which is hacer un salón de la fama para poder no, no celebrar a los jugadores históricos de León. I truly believe Rafael Albrich is a first ballot Hall of Famer. In my opinion, he's in my once ideal de toda la historia de León. He's there. He's one of my most favorite players ever. And I kind of feel, especially today being Mamba Day, Kobe Bryant Day, I think that we should really celebrate people while they're still here instead of that, mostly when they die. He's 78 years old today. And like La Tota Carvajal and Roberto Salomone, a lot of our legends aren't alive anymore. And we have very few. So if La Directiva was to ever really do El Salón de la Fama, I would love more than anything to see Albrecht on that day, al lado de la Tota Carvajal, de Tita, del Chino Estrada, de los que sigan vivos. I really think he deserves that recognition. So if you're listening, Tucumano, Rafael Albrecht, which I doubt, but still, I just want to say happy birthday. I want to say, que donde quieras que estés, eres muy querido y muy recordado en León, Guanajuato. Siempre será tu casa. Y pues, ¿qué más? Que muchas felicidades. Arriba la fiera. And that's pretty much my segment for today. Once upon a time in León history, Rafael el Tucumano Albrecht.
Wow, that was beautiful.
Sorry, I messed up a couple of times.
Javier.
Sorry.
Great job, Javier. I hope we can take a clip of that and send it to him.
That'll be dope.
Tweet it to him.
Hey, man. He probably wouldn't understand it, but it'll be dope.
Yeah, well, he'll understand the last part at least.
Oh, yeah, definitely the last part.
Yeah, that was nice. Great job, Javier.
Came from the heart.
Sir. All right, so let's go ahead and get into prediction time. Actually, let's go into predicted lineups first, guys. I think we're still going to be missing some of the same players that we're missing in the previous match. So what do you guys think? What do you guys think is going to be our starting lineup against Atlas?
Definitely not.
Louis, you're on mute, by the way.
Louis is muted.
So if he sticks with the trend of not starting the players who are immediately returning from COVID absence, then I would expect to see something close to the lineup that we saw against Juarez. No, maybe, I don't know. Maybe Nico Sosa returns to the starting lineup, either instead of Gigliotti or instead of Campbell potentially. I would kind of like to see that personally. Put Campbell back on the bench, give him a dose of reality. Like, he's not producing. You're not going to be a titular indiscutible forever if you're not producing, no matter how much they paid for you. I would kind of like to see that. Obviously, Jefecito will be suspended, so I would assume, hope, pray that Arboriz doesn't get any wild ideas and that he slots Aquino in as a starter, just like he should be anyway. But other than that, and Cota obviously back in. I don't know. I feel like Cota, especially since he's already said more than a week prior to the match that he's COVID free and that he's already training. I expect he would start in goal over Poncho Blanco. If Tecillo also said that, I might not be surprised to see Tecillo start again. The thing is, it's a pretty long layoff still before our next match, and I figure that might have an effect. For example, it was a pretty short layoff between our last home game a week ago and then our game on Friday, this past Friday against Juarez, was a pretty short layoff. So the not starting those guys was pretty understandable. But with all this time, I feel like they might go away from the trend of not starting the guys who come back and might put those guys directly back in the starting 11.
Yes, sir. And
I'm pretty much with Louis. I don't think. It would be a surprise if Aquino doesn't play or start. I think. I wouldn't be surprised if Nico gets a shot, but if Gigliotti starts, again, I wouldn't be surprised. If Tecillo comes back again, that would be great, but I don't know. I don't know how this works. Cota, for sure, he could play. I saw that he's not tested negative. So, if he starts, that wouldn't be a surprise at all. but that's pretty much it. I think they're gonna repeat, and I think the Aquino would be the number one thing that I will be looking forward to if he starts. Hopefully,
Yes.
he does.
Yes, sir. Javier, go ahead and take it away. Give us your prediction time jingle.
Okay. Well, you guys know what time it is, right?
What
Yeah.
time is it?
It's it's prediction time. Da 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 da.
There we go. All right.
Why
So
do I do that? Why?
let's start off with Javier. Go ahead, Javier. What do you think? Next Monday, Leon Atlas.
Okay, man. I really believe that Leon has to not only win, but win, I think, against Atlas, who hasn't been at all a good team. I hate the fact that Leon, every time they play with a team like Atlas, un muerto, like remember with Veracruz,
Santa Muerto.
es un levanta muerto. Leon has that, for whatever reason, they have that kind of, I don't know, that essence, that kind of, that's kind of what they're known for doing. I hope it's not the case. I will be really mad. Therefore, I want Leon to not only win, pero que gane por goleada. So I'm going to go with a 3-0 win.
Wow.
Arriba la fiera.
Louis, go ahead.
Man, I keep predicting that each one of these is going to be the breakout game and predicting a wide, large score line, and I've gotten nowhere doing that. So until further notice, I'm not going to do that until they prove they're capable of it. I'm going to go with a win, yes, of course, but I'm going to stick with 1-0. I'm going to go with 1-0 until they show they can do something better. I'm going to go with a 1-0.
All right, Jose.
I'm gonna go with 2-1. Yeah. So, because so far we don't look like we're gonna score goals. So just like I'm gonna wait until they score 3 goals, because it doesn't look like it's gonna happen anytime. So,
Yeah. Yeah, I'm gonna agree with Jose and Louis. Our offense doesn't look too great right now.
3-0.
That's too much, dude. I'm gonna go with
Gol de
1-0.
Barreiro de Chilena. I'm gonna bet it. I'm going to caliente.mx and I'll be like, hey, this is what I think is gonna happen. No, you guys are right. It's kind of almost improbable that it could happen, but I just want Leon. I mean, it was also improbable that Querétaro would beat America 4-1 and then to lose to Atlas. So maybe we can have one of those. Why can't we have one of those moments too?
We are going to have one of those moments. It's bound to happen. We're going to have a breakout offensive performance. I'm just done predicting them because every time I predicted them, they haven't happened. So when it happens, it won't be because any of us. It won't be because I've predicted it. I'm giving up predicting. I'm giving up predicting that it's going to be the breakout performance.
I just feel like it's going to be against anyone. It should be against Atlas. That's kind of what I'm saying. But then again,
it should be.
Levanta muertos. So yeah, I'm gonna just think positive, kind of take that idea, put it into the universe, and then it's gonna manifest, and then we win 3-0. Y la octava.
Yeah. Let's hope. Let's hope your energy.
And the Lakers who are winning, and then tomorrow the San Diego Padres will beat the Mariners. It's all gonna be a good week.
You're gonna get Louis pretty mad right now.
He's mad because I know he's watching the game. I know he's definitely watching the game. But look, what can you expect? Today is, I think, a day that maybe in 10 years, I think, will be celebrated more. Mamba Day, Kobe Bryant Day. I don't see the Lakers losing today, Louis. I'm sorry.
Yeah,
right.
No, you know what? I'm not going to say it. This is a Club Leon podcast, and I don't want to.
We have a Blazer jersey.
I don't want to break the no. I don't want to break the no cursing rule on here because I'm really close to doing it because you guys are really making me agitated. So I think we should wrap this up and get the heck out of here.
Let's just wrap it up now. All right, guys. Thank you guys so much for joining us. This was episode 42 of the Lions Den podcast. Make sure to follow all of us on our Twitter accounts and follow us on YouTube. Subscribe to all of our podcasts. And that's it for tonight. Any last words, guys?
No, just arriba la fiera, and Oh, there's Jose. Any last words,
All right.
Jose?
Hit that like button and subscribe.
Ooh.
Hit that like button and subscribe. All right, guys. We're out.